the Baltimore Orioles. Established in 1901, the Orioles actually began as the Milwaukee Brewers. In 1902, they jumped south to St. Louis, Missouri, and became known as the St. Louis Browns. The Browns would call St. Louis home for 52 years. During that span, the Browns played a lot of forgettable baseball, with their best season coming in 1944, where they reached the World Series but lost in 6 games to the St. Louis Cardinals. In November of 1953, the Browns were purchased by a group in Baltimore. They moved up north to Maryland, where they currently reside, and adopted the name the Baltimore Orioles in honor of the state's official bird. The club found success in Maryland, with their best stretch coming from 1966 to 1983. The Birds made it all the way to the World Series on 6 occasions over this stretch, going 3-3, winning it all in 1966, 1970, and 1983. However, since then, the team just hasn't reached the same heights. Since 1983, the O's have won the AL East just 2 times and earned just 3 wildcard berths. They had a quick stint of solid baseball in around 2014, reaching the ALCS, but by 2018, the team finished with a record of 47-115, which prompted a house cleaning. With the 4th longest active title drought in the MLB, the Orioles' leadership turned to just that loss. Can he help the Orioles to taste World Series victory for the first time in 37 years? Come along for the ride, and let's find out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the first episode of the first series of this brand new channel. My name is Just That Boss 88. I'm happy to have you here with me as we begin the Baltimore Orioles franchise mode. It's going to be a long ride here, trying to rebuild this team back to its 60s to 80s glory. We have the 3rd smallest budget in the league and not a ton to work with. It's going to be a great series. I'm looking forward to all of it. And in this episode, we're just going to kind of go over the roster and kind of see what we're working with. I've already done some scouting ahead. I've got some moves written down that we're going to try and pull off here to see if we can improve the roster. And pending how we're doing on time at that point, we might go ahead and work our way through spring training. So first things first, we've got to go ahead and look through exactly what we're working with here in Baltimore. The roster is not amazing. There's not a ton of talent, and we only have about $81 million to work with. So basically the strategy here is that anybody who isn't going to give us the bang for the buck that they're being paid, we have to just get rid of. We cannot afford at this point to be holding on to large contracts that aren't paying off. So, I know they got rid of Chris Davis a long time ago, but Chris Davis was a good example of a large contract that was eating into their budget that was not paying off for them. So we're looking for stuff like that. But let's immediately here we're going to jump into the rosters and just see exactly what we're working with. And you'll see very quickly it is not a whole lot at the moment. So first things up, we got the starting pitchers. John Means is our current ace, 27 years of age, B potential 75 overall. He's got 98 break, which is really nice, a lot of junk. Pretty decent control, solid velocity. The Ks over 9 innings are pretty low. I'd like to see that get up there as well as the home run over 9. But you can see here our projected starting 5 right now would be Means, Hernandez, LeBlanc, Rodriguez, and Keegan Aiken. So we've definitely got some work to do with the pitching core, and it doesn't exactly fall off a cliff overall wise. I mean, you're looking at low 60s, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fall off a cliff, but there's definitely improvements that we could be making as far as that's concerned. Moving into the relievers, Let's see, Cesar Valdez. He's 36 years old though, so most likely an aging contract that we're going to want to move on from. Paul Fry, the 28-year-old reliever, 69 overall with B potential. Sean Armstrong, you can see here, the bullpen is really nothing to write home about. It honestly is not really much of anything to write home about. So we're going to have to do some major reworking in that department. But if you thought the bullpen was bad, you better brace yourself, because I'm about to click the button and send us to the closers, and that's what we've got. That is Hunter Harvey, the 26-year-old. He's got a potential. I'm not gonna write him off just yet, but at 57 overall, this guy should not be sniffing an MLB roster yet. His velocity's up there at 97, but his control is at 48. His hits, strikeouts, walks, and home runs over 9 are all below 60. I mean, this guy's got some work to do. So definitely a spot we're going to have to upgrade. Moving to first, we've actually got to catcher. Pedro Severino is there, and then our top prospect, Adley Rutschman, is waiting in the wings. We're going to probably track him in the minors, I would say, for the first year. If he doesn't stay down there with the Bowie Bay Sox, he will at least move up to Norfolk to start the year. I don't want to thrust him into action too quickly. What I found is even these top prospects that are 70 overall usually need a year in the minors before they progress enough to make an impact in the show. I know I can put him up there and he'll grow. He will have growth. I know that if we put him in the show, even at 70 overall, he'll grow. I think he'll grow faster if we leave him in the minors and he is able to rake down there. So we'll keep an eye on him. We also have Chance Sisco down there, the 26-year-old. So he's also a hot prospect. He's in the MLB right now. We'll be reworking all of this before opening day. I will have control with minor assistance from the game as far as rosters go, because I found that this one doesn't update you as much on injuries. I found that in a couple of my offline saves. And I will also have control of the pitching rotation and the lineups, depth charts, that kind of stuff. So we'll be keeping an eye on all that. Moving over to first base, we actually have a pretty good couple of options here in Trey Mancini, who is serviceable at least as a 29-year-old, C potential 76. You can see he's a pretty all-around a decent hitter, The contact is up there. The power is really up there. His vision could use a little bit of work, and he can't steal worth a crap. But other than that, Trey Mancini is a very solid player, and he'll play. I'm not at all upset with that. We have Ryan Mountcastle, his understudy right now. The 24-year-old sits with B potential, and look at that contact versus righties. We're going to have him in the lineup versus right-handers every single time. And if him and Mancini have to split or someone's in the DH, then so be it. But Ryan Mountcastle, that contact versus righty is something to write home about. So other than that, nothing really to speak of, and we'll be doing a lot of house cleaning here, getting the roster the way that we want it as we move closer towards opening day. At second, we've got Yolmer Sanchez. As a White Sox fan, I know Yolmer Sanchez. He's a good little player. I'm happy to have him starting at second for us this year. And behind him, Ramon Urias, another serviceable second baseman. Behind him, Jahmai Jones, and then Pat Valaika. So all these guys are at the MLB level. They will not all stay here. I can tell you that much right now. Some of these guys are going to be moving down. There's no way that I'm going to have 4. If you count Rylan Bannon at the bottom, I don't know why he's in the MLB, but he is. If you count him, that is 5 second basemen at the MLB level, and we just don't have a reason for it. And the reason we don't have a reason, you'll see coming up at short. So you can see how the second base core kind of looks. Yolmer, his batting is honestly not that great. He's more of a defensive player. You can see the reaction, the arm, the fielding, those green attributes are up there, and that's all good and dandy, but his batting is abysmal. He is a contact hitter at that, and his power is just nowhere near where it needs to be. So for a contact hitter, he is okay. I feel like I would end up using him as more of a pinch hitting, pinch running, defensive substitution kind of guy. Ramon Urias is much the same thing, except his speed is much higher than Yolmer, so probably a good pinch running option. Jahmai Jones, he's a pretty average all-around player, but at 23 years of age with B potential and 72 overall already, he's got plenty of room to grow. So I'm not worried about Jahmai Jones. And then Pat Valaika, that power versus lefties. His contact might be at 60, which is serviceable, but if he gets a hold of one, he'll take a yard. So Pat Valaika, all four of these guys right here, definitely serviceable. And then down here, Wilbus Santiago, he is I did not look at his attributes. Oh my goodness gracious, he has the worst power I think I've ever seen in a player in this game. Very good contact. His contact is serviceable. He's got to get that power up there. His vision's okay. His defensively, he's all right. So he'll be one of the prospects that we keep an eye on throughout this save and get ready to bring up to the MLB level. Moving on to third, we got Rio Ruiz, the 26-year-old, 71 overall, B potential. So he'll be doing all right for us, but not much depth at third, and that's something we're going to have to address, whether it be trades or free agency here. Shortstops, we got Freddie Galvis, who is going to be slated to start for us, but hot on his heels, another one of our top prospects behind Adam Hall, who's also a pretty solid prospect for us, but again, the bat really not there. He's more of a defensive player. Terran Vavra, I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. Please correct me in the comment section. Feel free to do that anytime that I'm saying something wrong, and I'll do my best. But neither of these two guys really that great at batting, but the defensive side and the speed is definitely there. You look at a guy like Adam Hall, 89 speed. If we can bump up his stealing a little bit with the training, he'll be swiping bags for us, and he'll be a really solid pinch runner. We've also got Gunnar Henderson and Malcolm Canelo. Again, hope I'm saying that right. Correct me if I'm not. But again, speedy guy. We just got to work the bats on these guys. So moving into left field, we have absolutely nobody. We have two guys. They're both in single A. We do not have a left fielder on the MLB roster. Again, something we're going to look to address via trades or free agency. So we'll figure that out as it happens. In center, we've got Austin Hayes, one of our top, you can call him a prospect, but he's been up here. I think he's been here for a little while, right? Yeah, this is his fourth year in the majors. So Austin Hayes will be up here with us to start the year. 76 overall, B potential. A very solid player for us. Kyle Stower is a pretty solid prospect at 22 years of age with the B potential. Cedric Mullins, Ryan McKenna right behind him. Eloy Rincon, and now we're getting down into guys who probably aren't going to see the MLB field with the Orioles. And you move into right field, the last position we've got on the roster here, Anthony Santander, 26 years of age, 77 overall, B potential. DJ Stewart is behind him. His overall just isn't there yet for the 27-year-old. And Yusniel Diaz. Again, please help me. Orioles fans, come out and help me. 23 years of age, 62 overall, C potential. Could turn into maybe an average bench player for us. The C potential kind of worries me, but him only being 23 is a solid thing for us. And then we've got Chris Cespedes down here, B potential, 57 overall, but only 21 years old, so plenty of time to grow. So that's the roster. That we've gone through the roster here. I can take you through the lineups right now as they are. I have not had a chance to edit these at all, and this is currently for spring training, so we kind of have to bear with it as it goes here. But you can kind of see. I'll scroll through them here. I'm not gonna read them off here. So there's righties with the DH. You can pause and look at these if you want, critique them, give me some tips, some pointers. We've got the righties with no DH, lefties with a DH, and then lefties without a DH. So you can see how that looks. I don't exactly specialize in the lineups. Usually I specialize in the pitching rotation. I tend to care quite a bit about my pitchers. I like to have pretty solid defensive teams. I have found that good pitching and solid defense are usually the way to win in this game. The bats will come when they come, and yeah. So you can see here, this is currently what they've got us projected for here. The starting five, at least for spring training, which looks weird, but John Means, obviously our top guy. We'll be addressing some of this in free agency here in a minute. Felix Hernandez, Keegan Aiken, and Dean Kramer and Ashton Godot. So we'll see what happens with all that. You can see all the other pitchers that are in the pen right now, which is a laundry list and a half. Hunter Harvey's in there. And then who's in our closer spot? Oh, we don't have one. Okay. Oh, no, we do. Where is it? Cesar Valdez, currently. Our top reliever is in the closer spot. We've got a pretty interesting option we can take if we choose to, as far as that's concerned. So we're going to take a look and see what we want to do. So the first things first, we are going to have to get rid of some of these guys. The fact of the matter is I don't have all the room that I want, most likely, to sign a lot of guys. It's usually what happens. The rosters are full. So we're going to have to let go of a few guys. My rule tends to be if you have D potential and you are under 60 overall, I don't want you on my team. And that's nothing personal. That is just purely you are not likely to grow past 69 overall. And that will not serve any purpose to me in a major league setting. So a guy like Taylor Davis will never see. He's already at 30. He's not going to grow in before he's like 33 to a level where I can use him in the show. So he is going to go. So we're going to take Taylor Davis. We're going to release him, and we're going to have to pay him, which I'm fine with doing for right now. Brian Pins too. So we're just getting rid of a couple of guys so that we can make some of the signings that we need. So if we go to first base, like over here, look at this. Look at we have so many guys. Here's Chris Davis. I thought we got rid of Chris Davis. We've still got him, and he is due $23 million this year and next year. So, we're going to save him because I don't want to pay that on buyout. He is 57 overall. We are absolutely eating that contract right now. So you know what? We're just going to dump him. But we're going to get rid of Victor Cabrera. Eli Simmons. We're going to go ahead and dump Eli Simmons as well. And then, Chris Davis is, we're going to do that right now. So we're going to go to the trade talks. You can currently see our bullpen, I believe, is ranked last in the MLB. You can see kind of where all of our positions rank on the trade talk screen. We're still miles away from the trade deadline, plenty of time to make moves, but we're going to go ahead and try and dump Chris Davis off for petty change at this point. I just look at that. He's the worst first baseman on the team. That's only because I got rid of the guys under him. But look at our budget. Right now we have $42 million in budget space. We dump him, boom, $65 million in budget space. Now, obviously, the Red Sox are not going to take him. I don't know how he even has that much trade value. But the Red Sox aren't going to take him. And is he worth anything? He's got 69 power versus righties, but 31 contact. He can't hit the ball. So we're going to trade Chris Davis. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to I'd like prospects. And people want him. So this is the game of let's find the best offer for our team. And this is kind of what I thought we were going to get. It's kind of just a bad deal, honestly. I'm gonna want to trade him in division. Let's hamper the Blue Jays with him. Honestly, if the Blue Jays they're gonna offer me Assad Kieselbosch, I think that is. I can't guarantee he'll remain on the team, but I'm happy to have him. And so we're gonna make a trade here. We're gonna go ahead and offer up Chris Davis, and they can have him, and that leaves us with a lot more budget room than we just had. So that was something I hadn't uncovered when I was doing my roster research. So now we've got a little bit more budget room to work with, and let's see what we can do here. So I've got a list of moves that I'd like to make. We're going to look at free agency here, and that's obviously the big question mark. Roberto Osuna, 26 years of age, 85 overall. Look at those stats. So look at that. 99 break, 83 hits over 9, 74 K over 9, 80 walk over 9, 75 home run over 9, 91 velocity, and 79 control. And at 26 with A potential, this is a guy that I want to sign long term. I want Roberto Osuna in a Baltimore uniform for as long as possible. So let's go ahead and let's make a long-term offer. I think we're going to make a long-term offer. We'll address closing pitcher in a second. First up, starters here. We need desperately to get just someone who is anybody into our starting rotation, because our starters currently are 70 in overall order: 75, 74, 72, 69, 68. And while those bottom 2 or 3 might be prospects, that just won't cut it. It won't cut it, and we can't win if we don't have average starting pitching. So this guy here, Luke Rennie, 26 overall, or 26 years of age, 70 overall. He's got beat potential, 80 stamina. He's got average stats across the board, and because he's got that beat potential, he's got room to grow. He only wants a $70,000 contract. So we're going to go ahead and make the offer to Luke Rennie, and he will sign that contract. So beautiful. We got Luke Rennie. Next up, let's head to the relievers. I've got to find him here. So our relieving core wasn't that great either. We had a top reliever of 72, who is currently our closer, and a bottom reliever like I usually only carry 6 or 7, and our 6th reliever was a 67 overall. So we had to find something to do with that, and we found Brad Peacock, the 33-year-old. He's 73 overall, 88 break on the ball. His hits, strikeouts, walks, homers over 9 are decent enough to be serviceable. He's kind of a short-term reliever, maybe a setup man for us. Pretty good velocity, okay control. But at this point, we can't really be, beggars can't really be choosers. So we're going to offer him 4 years at 1.7. I'm comfortable doing that. We'll give him the 1.8. Give him 1.8. No. You can take the 1.7. We have to try and pinch our pennies here at this point. We're trying to pinch pennies. So let's go ahead and offer that. He wants more. Okay. Yep, I figured he would want more. How about that? Okay, so we got Brad Peacock. That helps. Now we're into this dilemma of, do we take Roberto Osuna out of free agency, or do we try to trade for somebody? Now, before I had discovered the Chris Davis dilemma with the money, the $23 million, I was going to trade for somebody because Roberto Osuna is asking for $12 million a year. And on the old budget, it was just $12 million that I didn't have to offer him. Now, $12 million doesn't look that bad because we have a surplus of 58. So now I think we're going to offer Roberto Osuna. That's what I think. So let me go ahead and look. 5 years, I want him long term. I want him on an 8-year deal. 8-year deal takes him until he is 34 years old, which is usually where closers really start to fall off a cliff, especially with a potential. I'm a White Sox fan, so I obviously played a White Sox save, and that's where Liam Hendricks started to kind of fall off a cliff, was about 34, 35 years old. But until then, he was good at a low to mid 90 until then. So I'm comfortable offering him a $14.5 million a year offer to be our closer. And he'll be here for the long haul. 8 years, we can rebuild, set, and go through that championship window with him. I'm comfortable with that. So I'm going to make the offer, and he is here for it. So we've now pulled in Roberto Osuna. We've pulled in Luke Rennie as a starter, Brad Peacock. We've kind of bolstered up that pitching staff a little bit. So now let's move into some of the position players. Chase Velo right here. He's going to provide us a little bit of depth at catcher. A potential at 24 years old you really can't pass up, especially at catcher. And I don't know, he can also play first. So we're going to go ahead and pick him up. If nothing, he can become kind of a first baseman in the future. A lot of these guys you're going to see are on these cheap deals. I'm trying to keep the money cost down because we don't have a lot of budget. We have to work with what we can. So now we go over to the first base side of things. And let's take a look. We went down. Eugene Lin, 21 years of age, 63 overall. He's got B potential, but at 21, he's got so much time to grow. And I did check Giancarlo Gonzalez, but you can see D potential there. So we've got Eugene Lin. Let's go ahead and pick him up on a 70K. Oh, nope, see, we're full. Okay. So we're full. We got to go back and release a couple of guys here. So while I'm releasing some of these guys, you can see Ozuna is now the best player on our team by about a leap and a bound. So throughout the series, if you want to chime in, I would welcome your support in the comments of every video. Feel free to let me know if there's something you think I should be doing, something you think I'm doing wrong, something you think I'm doing bad. something you think I might have missed, a name I'm saying wrong, a strategy that it just isn't working, or that you think might work. Maybe you've tried it and it works for you. I want to hear all of them. I feel kind of obligated to keep Kizelbosch on the team, so we're going to release the guy above him. We're going to keep, obviously, Wilbur Santiago. Everyone else can kind of hang in there. But yeah, I'd really like to hear your guys' input on a lot of this stuff. You'll come to find out if we end up hopping in, and I will do a Road to the Show series. But if I end up hopping into any of these games, you'll find out that I'm not that great. I'm decently knowledgeable about the sport of baseball, but I'm a college swimmer, so am not 100% fluent in all the lingo and everything. But we're going to do our best here. We're going to do our best, and our last cuts here are going to be Rincon and Tremaine, and that should give us more than enough space to work here. Release player. Okay, so that should be enough space to sign our guys. So we were at, I think it was Eugene Lin. So let's go back to the first baseman here. Catcher, first base. Okay, yep, there he is. So Eugene Lin, we're going to pick him up on a $70K contract and just see what happens in the future. After him, we headed over to the shortstop area, and we found Reynel Delgado, 19 years old at A potential. I mean, I almost my jaw hit the floor when I saw this kid. 19 years of age, he's got so much. He's younger than me. He's got so much potential to turn into a franchise shortstop, or you saw on his profile card a second baseman, a third baseman, and anything really. So we're excited to have him. He'll also join us. And then we had to find a left fielder. 57 overall, will not cut it in a million years. Cespedes was asking too much. Him and Ryan Braun are also over 35. But Logan Benoit, he does have C potential, but he is at least going to be somebody who can hit the ball for us. You can see 81 contact versus righties. His power isn't there, but his vision is. So my hope is that we can use him as a leadoff guy when he does play for us against righties, and he can draw walks. He's got good discipline, decent clutch, but he can draw walks and make contact with the ball, I guess. That's essentially all he can do, but you got to take what you can get. So that's that taken care of. The last thing that we were going to do is beef up the pitching prospects. You can see that our starting pitchers, we just didn't have a ton of A potential guys on the roster that we could fast track. We've got DL Hall down here. So DL Hall's 21 years of age, A potential, but other than him, he's really the only hot pitching prospect that we have that's close to anything. So I went out, I did my work, and I did my recruiting, and I worked out a deal that I believe will go through here, that I'm pretty sure is fair. So we are going to go talk to the Chicago White Sox, and they have got a hot pitching prospect in the name of Matthew Thompson. Remember, boys, we're building for the future here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take Matthew Thompson, and I didn't want to, work him over or anything. I did offer them Grayson Rodriguez. He is 20 years of age with B potential. He's 69 overall, so he's a little bit closer to the show. They wanted a little bit more. And so who was it? I'd offered somebody else up as well. And they aren't really seeking anything right now, so that makes my job a little bit harder. But I will go ahead and offer them him plus... I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I can give you Matt Harvey. They're interested in it. It's honestly going to help our budget a little bit as well. So Rodriguez and Harvey from Matty Thompson. He'll be kind of our ace of the future. So we offer that to the White Sox, and they will take it. So now we've got ourselves a hot pitching prospect in the name Matthew Thompson. So you can see him right there. He's currently our 5. He's our 6th starter. So he might actually end up in the show this year. but I really want him to take that year in AAA. I really do. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick up one of these guys. Maybe a Jake Odorizzi, maybe an Anibal Sanchez, a Gio Gonzalez. I got to find somebody who's not better than John Means, because John Means is going to be our ace all year. He's 27. I can't afford to protect him. I think let's go with Odorizzi. Did he have a good year last year? Oh, okay. How about the year? Okay, the year before he did okay. Minnesota 2020 was just a year to forget for him. So we're gonna go off the 2019 numbers. We're gonna go ahead and sign Jake Odorizzi. Ooh, a 5-year contract. Can I give you a 1-year deal? A 1-year, $5.8 million deal. I think we're gonna do that. Let's do that. It won't affect my budget for next year. So let's go ahead and do that. Jake Odorizzi, a 1-year, $6 million contract, and he is here for it. I would pick up Jeff Samardzija. I don't like the idea of guys who are in their late 30s. I'm sorry. I really don't. They fall off a cliff, and their trade value, it just falls. It just plummets, and there's nothing you can do. So we'll see what we can do with that. But in the meantime, we're going to peek through these contract extensions. We're running on about 30 minutes here. So I might just work a little bit of spring training in here. We'll see. Anthony Santander, definitely a guy I'm going to want to keep around for a long, long time. He's looking for $6.8 million a year. And you can see, look at this. Next year we have $16 million in payroll. I'm not sure what our projected payroll is, but we're going to have to figure it out. It said that my payroll to start, my budget to start, was around $81 million. So that's the soft number that I'm going to go with. It's about 81 is probably where the cap is. So Anthony Santander wants a 5-year deal. If I go up, he goes up. If I go down, he goes down. I'm going to go ahead and take him on when does it really? So it's not going to be much of a difference to do him a year at a time. He's going to grow because he's got good potential. So I'm going to, how about a 4-year deal? 4-year deal? I think 3-year deal. That 1.6 is probably going to make a bit of a difference here. So we can take that way down now. Way down. Secure ourselves this. I could take it even lower. Let's go ahead and get him at 3.8. All right, so he's here. Austin Hayes, another guy who I'm going to want around for the long haul. Now, Hayes, on the other hand, see, now this is one of those, it's only an extra $900,000 a year. So I just saved that on the other contract that we just did. And yeah, see, that's where it jumps. You kind of look for that jump where you can see here 2.3 to 4.4. So a $2.3 million deal, and with a team like this, it's all about penny pinching. You got to save every penny that you can. So we'll get Austin Hayes on a 4-year deal as well. He doesn't want one that long. Okay then. He doesn't want one that long. How about 3 years at 1.5? And he's there. Okay. He's good to go. Trey Mancini, 29 years of age. I'll wait on Trey Mancini. Yolmer, I am definitely going to want around, as well as John Means, so we'll get them taken care of. Yolmer Sanchez wants a 5-year. That's a decently long deal there, buddy. And he only goes up. He doesn't go down, does he? No, he's like locked at that number. Yolmer's a guy that we're going to wait for. I'm not in the market to pay him that money just yet. John Means, kind of our number one guy right now, 27 years of age. 5 years at 4.5 is about the deal that I'm looking to pay him, but we can get him for 4. So a 5-year, $20 million deal for John Means to remain our starter, and he's here for it. I'm here for it. Let's go. Ryan Mountcastle. This is the problem here. Okay, Ryan Mountcastle, he is looking for peanuts a year. When does he get? So you know what? We can bump him up to 5 years, maybe 5 years. Yeah, let's do. Yeah. Let's. I really don't know. Mountcastle. Let's go ahead and pull him in on a 3-year deal. There we go. 3-year, $3 million deal. There we go. This is kind of the bad thing you're going to find about starting into the year, because technically the Orioles have pulled these guys all up into the majors, which is why I can renew them all right now. That's why this is able to happen. Usually there's not this many guys. But because they've all played in the majors, they're all eligible for extensions. So I'm not going to bore everybody by doing every single extension right now. Let's just take care of a few more of these. Ramon Urias, let's go ahead and pick him up here. 1.8 a year for 5 years. Let's go ahead and drop him down to 3. He's not happy. Our coaching staff, I think we might have to clean house again here. Let's go ahead and give him a deal. Jahmai Jones, Cesar Bellis. All right. We'll take care of that. We'll take care of it. We're running up on 34 minutes. So I think that's where we're probably going to wrap it up at. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or anything, as always, please let me know, and we'll work through it. But I appreciate you coming in to the first video. Be sure to stick around. We've got a ton of fun coming over the course of this channel, and over especially the course of this franchise mode. So it'll be a few more days probably before I do another Baltimore Orioles video, but stay tuned. We've got a couple other series that are going to get going, and probably a Let's Play as well. So be sure to just stick around to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be sure to come by and watch a lot of the other content that I'm planning to record and put out for you guys. So let's build a community here, and let's have some fun, honestly. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.